205,832 workers. That's how many people have lost their jobs in 2026 so far. More than half of those layoffs, 54%, list artificial intelligence as the reason. That sounds like proof the AI jobs apocalypse has already started. But dig into the actual data, and a stranger, more uncomfortable story shows up. One where the real risk isn't whether your company says the word AI in a press release. It's whether you personally ever bothered to use it. Here's why this matters, whatever field you're in. Every layoff announcement this year seems to come with the same line: we're restructuring around AI. For workers, that's terrifying. It sounds like a machine took your job, full stop, nothing you could have done. For investors, AI-driven efficiency sounds like a great reason to keep the stock price up. And for a company that overhired, or is missing revenue targets, or just wants to cut costs quietly, blaming the AI is frankly a very convenient story to tell. So which is it? Is this the great AI displacement everyone warned about, or is AI just this year's most fashionable excuse? The data actually lets us answer that, and the answer isn't what either side wants it to be. Let's start with what's actually confirmed. 322 layoff events in 2026 so far, displacing 205,832 workers across tech, finance, and healthcare. 54% of those events now cite AI or automation as a driver. But look at how fast that number moved. In January, AI was blamed for just 7% of layoffs. By May, 40%, now 54%. Actual AI capability did not get 5 times better in 4 months. What changed wasn't the technology, it was the explanation companies reached for. Analysts have a name for this: AI washing. Specifically, AI redundancy washing. Deutsche Bank called it out directly, writing that AI redundancy washing would be, quote, a significant feature of 2026. Here's the mechanism. A company overhired during the boom years, or missed its revenue targets, or is under pressure from investors to cut costs. All three of those are boring, unflattering reasons for a layoff. We're restructuring around AI is not boring. It signals innovation instead of failure. It's the same layoff, with a much better press release. And serious economists are calling this out. Oxford Economics concluded, bluntly, that firms, quote, don't appear to be replacing workers with AI on a significant scale. Wharton management professor Peter Capelli put it even more plainly. The headline is, it's because of AI. But if you read what they actually say, they say, we expect that AI will cover this work. Hadn't done it. They're just hoping. Even OpenAI's own CEO, Sam Altman, has admitted it goes both ways. His words, some AI washing where people are blaming AI for layoffs they would otherwise do. While real AI-driven displacement is also happening, genuinely, at the same time. Take Klarna. In 2024, its CEO announced that an AI assistant was doing the work of 700 customer service agents, a huge, celebrated efficiency story. Then customer satisfaction started dropping on anything complicated. The savings didn't fully show up either. By early 2026, Klarna was quietly rehiring human agents to handle the conversations its AI couldn't. The CEO's own words, the company had gone too far. The AI didn't fail completely, it handled the simple, repetitive tickets just fine. It just couldn't handle the messy, human complicated ones, and nobody put out a press release when the humans quietly came back. Salesforce tells a messier version of the same story. In February 2026, it cut under 1,000 roles across support and product teams. But over the prior year, it had also quietly redeployed roughly 4,000 customer support jobs as AI agents took over a rising share of tickets. That's not fake. That's a real, measurable shift in headcount tied to real AI deployment. The uncomfortable truth sitting underneath most 2026 layoffs is that both stories are happening inside the same company, often in the same announcement. Genuine AI-driven change, bundled together with cuts that would have happened anyway. Here's the finding that should actually change how you think about this. Gallup surveyed over 23,000 U.S. workers, including hundreds who'd just been laid off. Tech workers, who use AI less than once a month, were 3 times more likely to have lost their job than workers who use it at least monthly. A 6% predicted layoff rate for regular users versus 18% for infrequent ones. That gap is real, and it's large. But here's the twist. When Gallup asked laid-off workers why they thought they'd lost their job, only 1% blamed AI or automation directly. Almost nobody experiences it as, a robot took my job. They experience it as a reorg, a budget cut, bad timing. The AI angle only shows up when you zoom out and look at the pattern across thousands of people. So here's the pattern underneath the noise. Layoffs in 2026 are absolutely real, over 200,000 of them. Whether any individual company is honestly using AI or just borrowing the word for cover is often impossible to know from outside. But the person actually at risk isn't defined by their employer's press release. It's defined by something much more personal. Did you actually integrate AI into how you work, or didn't you? The company's stated reason is often theater. Your own AI fluency is not. Unsurprisingly, fear is rising faster than the actual job losses. Mercer's Global Talent Trends survey of 12,000 workers worldwide found that 40% now fear AI will make their job obsolete, up from 28% just 2 years ago. That's a 12-point jump in 2 years, in the same window where actual AI-attributed job cuts, by Gallup's own numbers, explain only a sliver of total layoffs. The anxiety is outrunning the evidence, which doesn't mean the anxiety is irrational. It means most people are being told the wrong thing to be afraid of. There's an even bigger tell hiding in the data. The great AI layoff is already turning into the great AI rehire. Gartner predicts that by 2027, half of the companies that blamed AI for cutting staff will rehire people to do similar work, often under new job titles, so it doesn't look like a reversal. Forrester puts a number on the regret. 55% of employers already say they regret laying workers off for AI. If the technology were truly replacing these roles outright, there would be nothing left to rehire for. So what does the honest forecast actually say? The Boston Consulting Group analyzed 165 million jobs across 1,500 roles and found that 50 to 55% of U.S. jobs will be reshaped by AI within 2 to 3 years. Reshaped, not eliminated. Same job title, fundamentally different daily tasks. Separately, BCG estimates 10 to 15% of U.S. jobs could be eliminated entirely within 5 years, 16 to 25 million positions. That's a serious number, but BCG is explicit. This isn't an unemployment forecast. It doesn't account for new jobs AI itself creates or how the wider economy adapts. Reshaping, for most people, is the far more likely outcome than replacement. So which parts of the economy are actually the safest? Research scoring automation resistance puts mental health and therapy roles at the top, 95 out of 100, followed by skilled trades at 91, clinical healthcare at 90, direct caregiving at 88, and creative direction at 82. Specific roles projected to keep growing. Nurse practitioners up nearly 40%, electricians boosted by data center and EV demand, mental health therapists, special education teachers, home health aides. The common thread across every single one: physical presence in an unpredictable environment, licensed human judgment, or a high-trust relationship. A robot that can reliably handle a flooded basement or sit with someone in a mental health crisis at human cost is still nowhere close. Now the roles facing the most disruption: routine, repeatable work where the input and the output are both just text or data. First-pass customer support tickets, junior-level code review, basic data entry, first-draft content and copywriting, entry-level paralegal and analyst research. None of these jobs are guaranteed to disappear completely. But they are exactly the tasks current AI is already good enough to absorb a meaningful share of, which is precisely why they show up disproportionately in this year's layoff and redeployment announcements, Klarna and Salesforce included. Even inside the tech industry driving all this, some roles are getting more secure, not less. Cybersecurity engineers, projected to grow 32%. AI and machine learning researchers, AI infrastructure architects, data engineers, and AI ethics and governance specialists. The pattern is almost funny once you see it. These are literally the jobs of building, securing, and supervising AI systems. An AI model can write code. It cannot audit its own security posture, architect the infrastructure it runs on, or decide whether it should be trusted. Somebody still has to be accountable for the machine. So, practically, starting today, what actually moves you from at risk to irreplaceable? First, use AI daily, not occasionally. Remember Gallup's number: regular users face a third of the layoff risk of infrequent ones. Second, stop treating AI like a search engine and start learning to orchestrate it. Chaining tools together, automating handoffs, building small systems, not just typing one-off prompts. Third, double down on what AI still can't do: strategic judgment, setting the actual goals, taking accountability for outcomes, reading a room, an unpredictable physical environment, a genuine human relationship. Fourth, learn to give AI context and constraints well enough that its output needs almost no cleanup. That skill alone reportedly commands a 50% pay premium. The workers surviving this aren't smarter than AI, they're the ones who stopped competing with it and started directing it. A few honest caveats. AI washing being real doesn't mean AI has zero impact. Salesforce and others show genuine displacement happening at the same time as cover stories. The Gallup numbers are a single survey wave, not a certainty about your specific job. BCG's reshaping and elimination estimates are modeled projections, not guarantees. They explicitly exclude how the wider economy and new jobs AI itself creates might offset the losses. And safest industries aren't AI-proof forever. The frontier keeps moving. Treat every number here as the best current read, not a permanent verdict. So, real or AI washing? Both, at the same time, in the same numbers. What's real? Over 200,000 people lost jobs in 2026, and workers who ignore AI face measurably higher layoff risk. What's hype? The specific claim that AI did this is, by companies' own laid-off employees, almost never the reason people actually believe cost them their job, and over half of AI-blamed cuts are on track to be quietly reversed. The honest verdict: AI is not yet replacing most jobs outright. It is aggressively rewarding the people already using it, and quietly punishing everyone still waiting to start. That's the real story behind this year's AI layoff headlines, and why the most useful question isn't "Will AI take my job?" It's "Am I one of the people already using it?" Every source is linked in the description below. If you want more of these myth-busting breakdowns on the AI stories that actually matter, follow along. There's a lot more of this coming.